Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Masterofroflness, here to give you guys a Planetary Annihilation cast on a metal planet that is awesome and crazy and full of fun and wonder. We're playing on a little bit of a new game mode that I've created called Docks for Days, in which these guys can only build one unit and one unit only. That is the infamous docks. They can't build any base defenses, they can't build any orbital launchers, nuclear missile launchers, nothing of that sort. They can build tier 2 eco, but in terms of units, all they can build are fabrication bots of tier 2 and tier 1 and just doxes, and that's about it. So right now we have Mr. CQBEXPT, the purple, over here with the quadrupod commander. I don't know why his name is that complicated. That was really hard to work out. We have Rocco over here in the yellow trunks. We have Mr. Manlove in the purple hats. I mean the brown hats, sorry about that. We have Mr. Martinez going on, rocking it out. And we have Sovereign in teal. So already we can see all these players are going for not a very heavy early game pressure. Like this one has 2 bot factories. This one has 2 bot factories as well. But in terms of going for a very, very fast rush, so to speak, none of these players are really prepared for that. We are seeing sort of the workings towards it, however. Now, in terms of which player can spam out the most bots in the quickest amount of time, I'd have to say that the award would probably go to Teal. He's the most isolated. He can expand over here. He can probably expand over there and over here and probably get a huge amount of forces. Whereas Pink is blocked off by this huge crevice over here, as well as blocked off by Brown, and Yellow as well as blocked off by Brown. But Yellow has a pretty good amount of expansions over here to expand to. However, if Purple catches wind of this, he could expand upward and stop Yellow's expansion. Already we're seeing the first bits of action as Brown is trying to expand over here while he's pushing forward with some doxes, denying the expansion of Yellow. Rocca, you need to get out of there. Your fabrication bot, no! 3 doxes already coming out for Man11, as well as a 4th dox being built as well, which is pretty good. Martinez is going for the triple dox play over here, so the triple dox factories, which is pretty good. It will enable him to get a triple the manpower and the dock supply, which is awesome for him. It seems like Sovereign is getting a little bit late to the party. He's just gotten his 2nd bot factory out. He's not getting really his 3rd one right now at the same time, which is really bad. I think he should have went for 2 bot factories being built at the same time to sort of try and fix his sort of late expansion building. However, he has been able to kill off this fabrication bot, which will help him eventually beat out these other players in terms of production. Over here we see that his docks will fall, and it was so close to killing this fabrication bot, just so close. Martinez, however, getting the 4 quadro factories right now for the bots, which is actually pretty good. I can't believe he's actually going for this very heavy bot factory play. He's going to be able to pump out doxes at such an alarming rate. He might be able to overtake Brown if Brown doesn't build up enough the bot factories, and he could overtake Teal if he doesn't build up enough bot factories either. However, he will be getting this bot factory, so that's pretty good for him. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that recon buildings are allowed, so these guys will be able to know when other players are attacking them or not. Oh, violation! What is going on? Mr. Rocca. I see that Pelter. Rocca. Rocca is building a Pelter right now. He should destroy that immediately. That is not allowed in the Geneva Convention, Mr. Rocca. And there we go. He stopped his production, which is good for him. I just spelled Geneva wrong. I should now kill myself. Alright, so in terms of what's happening with Purple, however, 4 bot factories, pretty good. He's not producing out of all of them, which is a little bit suckish. Now he is, which is pretty good. You don't really need to go that many fabricators in this type of scenario. You don't really need to spam out fabricators after fabricators, because the only buildings you're going to be producing is basically bot factories. That's about it. Anything else is not allowed. So you can't build base defenses. You can't really sort of build any other factories. You can only build eco and other bot factories. So I'm not sure why he's going this many fabricators when he doesn't really need that many. He really needs to concentrate more on building more bot factories instead of fabricators, and more doxes. The more doxes you have, the more of a chance you have towards overpowering your opponent. Now, the reason why this is really interesting right now is kind of how sort of this game mode entitles players to raid over and over again. So these players are going to do a lot of raiding. They're going to do a lot of maneuvering. This is going to be a very micro-intensive game as to basically promote the players towards not using base defenses due to the fact that they're not allowed to use base defenses anymore in their regular games. So already we're seeing the bot factories over here from Brown pushing out Martinez quite a bit, destroying the metal extractor as well as just destroying a couple of units over there, which is pretty good for him. He will be able to gain this area of control, which is pretty good. If he does build a little bit more doxes, he will be able to maybe snipe out this commander. So that's something to keep in mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factories coming out for Teal. So already Teal has been ramping out its production so much. Really, really good for Teal. Really, really good. Especially since Teal has been really slow on the bot factory production, but now he's really amped it up to quite a massive degree. And this is the problem with having too many fabricators. You have many idle units that don't do anything, and you have not enough factories dedicated towards dox production, and that will really hurt you in the end. We see Brown trying to scout out a little bit of this area. We see a fast tier 2 coming out from Yellow. Now Yellow can only ever build doxes, so that means that this tier 2 will only be used for the tier 2 fabrication bots, and that's about it. So he's going to tech forward to tier 2 eco. We already see Teal pushing out of his base and attacking some of Purple's expansions, which is pretty good. Purple will be able to attack this dox that's harassing him by being able to send over 3 doxes, which is pretty good. Purple's production, however, is the most pitiful in terms of bot production. Only 4 bot factories. Not really looking good for Purple right now, which is pretty bad. Brown isn't looking too good either. It seems like Teal right now really has his game just in the bag right now. He's doing so well. He has so many doxes, and even though Brown technically has a little bit more doxes than Teal right now, Teal will be able to outproduce and macro mana length, which is actually pretty good. And soon this tier 2 is going to be built, so Eco is going to come out from Yellow. Now, in terms of Yellow's production and his composition overall and his base, I think he needs a little bit more bot factories, as right now he has been lacking a little bit. But Purple is going to go forward and try to attack Teal, but Teal's going to counterattack, sending forward a massive wave of doxes to counterattack. And maybe, just maybe, if Teal just attacks just a little bit close to this line over here. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Can we get a 4? 4. Can we get a 5th? Holy shit, 5 fabrication bots just went down, and he might be able to maybe kill a 6th. But over here, we're seeing the commander going forward a comm bomb, and he is able to use this commander. The commanders are able to be used in the game, but anything else is not being able to be used, so that's pretty good for all these players right now, as nobody will really have any OP units that can counteract this massive dox push that Teal and Purple are using. So since that Teal has no doxes to really counteract this push, he will maybe even lose 1 or 2 bot factories. He really doesn't need to lose these factories right now, because factories are basically worth gold at this point. 1 factory will be going down. Will the second one be going down? Yes, the second one will be going down, though. That's going to be really sucky for him. Yellow over here is not doing anything. So now we're just focusing on this battle at hand right now. We're seeing Purple pulling back as Teal is moving forward as commander. Now the strange thing is that since Purple does have fabrication bots over here and he does have doxes over here, Teal is at a slight disadvantage. In fact, not even a slight disadvantage, a massive disadvantage, as Purple will be able to heal up his commander to basically full health every single time Teal does try to attack Purple's commander, as well as just being able to have enough doxes to really counteract any of Teal's attacks with his own doxes. But it seems like Purple, because he was a little bit scared or maybe a little bit skittish, he's not going to go forward and attack Teal. And maybe that's a smart idea, since Teal now has a shit ton of doxes to really try to counterattack against any sort of attack that Purple does have on his plate right now. See that Purple is going to try and push back again while Teal is distracted by Brown's push. Brown does have a massive force of doxes. He can just like move in right over here and destroy a huge assortment of Purple's base right now if he just tries really hard. We claimed a little bit of that wreckage over there, and we're seeing a little bit of some engages over here. Maybe, just maybe, if you send down the doxes, you can snipe this. Already we're seeing the commanders finding it out, but there's no fabrication bots for Teal whatsoever. Teal, you need some fabrication bots. You're just going to suicide your commander into this ball of death over here. What are you doing, sir? Too much firepower coming down. It's way too late. What are you doing? That was a really bad micro on Teal's part, and Teal will lose his commander and lose the game. GG for Teal. Teal was at such a good advantage, having more production than any of these other players, and now he's lost it all due to that massive micro mistake. I can't believe he did it. Purple, you should have went in earlier, and Teal, you shouldn't have went in at all, or you should have led your doxes first. Now, Teal has Brown, not Brown. Purple's at a big disadvantage right now because Brown has a massive force of units over here that could just wreck Purple massively, just massively, killing off all of these bot factories and maybe even potentially killing off the commander. The commander is healing up. The commander sees this. Will the commander be in position to deal with this? I'm not even sure. Doxers are going to go forward and eliminate this bot factory. Seems like the commander is trying to line up his shots, but already the commander is taking way too much damage. He's being focus fire to all hell right now. It's just too much damage, and already down goes Purple. While that was happening, Purple is pushing forward with his units over here and trying to destroy some of Yellow's expansion. He might be able to destroy Yellow if he keeps this up at this rate, but Yellow's going to send forward his commander to try and stop this. Already we can see that the bot factory is going to go down. Maybe, just maybe. Oh no, not the tier 2 bot factory. Anything but the tier 2 fabricator. Anything but the tier 2 fabricator. No, there we go. Tier 2 fabricator is saved, and he will be able to produce tier 2 eco structures now, which is pretty good. I mean, continue. Wow, actually there was a second advanced bot factory fabricator, so never mind about that. He was always able to produce tier 2 eco buildings. And now we see the Doxes are still going to continue at pushing against the Yellow's base right now. Yellow needs to try something to attack Purple right now, as Purple is just continuously sending forward wave after wave of Doxes after Doxes. But I guess Yellow's a little bit scared of Brown's massive base over here to his left side. Brown needs to ramp up his bot factory production, as well as Yellow. Yellow has lost so many bot factories due to this massive push by Purple, and Purple's doing mighty fine with his bot factory production. In fact, he is doing so well right now. Purple is just expanding all over the place, having bot factories over here, having bot factories over here, having bot factories over here. He'll be able to attack a Purple, or I mean not Purple, Yellow, or maybe even Brown at multiple different angles at the same time, which is actually pretty good for him. And that's what you should exactly be doing in this type of game mode. You should be attacking your opponents at multiple different angles due to the fact that Doxes are very fast, very cheap to build, and bot factories are also very cheap to build in general, so they're pretty good at raiding. You can already see that Yellow is trying to go for a calm bomb, senses all hope has been lost, so he's going to go forward and maybe sneak around and try to do as much damage as he can, but it's too late already. Purple's commander is way too far away, and it's going to take a huge chunk of forces in order to try and destroy and cleave his way through this massive base over here. We can already see that Yellow's forces are being whittled down. Some of these Purple Doxes have been stuck in the terrain. They're not moving. They're not doing anything. This engagement over here is going to be won by Yellow. Yellow, what are you doing, man? You should be continuously pushing forward. Not like that. Not like that. Not on the range of these Doxes. They're like basically mini turrets. Oh my god, you just lost all of your Doxes, man. It's not a good trade at all. But due to the fact that there's no massive glob of Doxes going forward and attacking Yellow's commander, Yellow will be able to clean up this wave of units constantly being streamed and attacking him right now. Remember, kiddies, that whenever you're streaming your units, it's always usually a bad thing, considering that streaming your units makes them less effective due to the fact that Doxes are more effective in groups rather than individually. However, due to the fact that Yellow isn't microing any of his units, he's losing his fabrication bots at an alarming rate, and this was the massive advantage that he had over Purple. He's lost already 10 of them at least, maybe even 11, and he's just being flanked all around the place, just continuously getting fucked in the ass by Dox after Dox after Dox. Purple is seeing this advantage and just attacking at multiple different angles. This is really smart on Purple right now. Purple's continuing to ramp up his production. Let's see what Brown's doing. Brown is continuously building bot factories. This is a really good strategy, but I think he should take over to tier 2 eco. That way he can produce even more bot factories and just get a shit ton of them out. Purple and Brown are having a little bit of some scrim battles over here on this lower hand side over here, so that's pretty good for Brown, getting a little bit of advantage over here and over there. And now Yellow's commander, alone, silent in this war. He'll be able to combo, maybe get a few of these power plants over here. But it doesn't even matter because Purple's commander is over there, so he's not going to cause too much damage. And Purple's base is actually fairly spread out right now. There's a base over here, there's a base over there, there's a base over there. So one combo isn't going to be the end of the world. In fact, there's already a mini base being grown over here, so pretty good. It's like a Chichia pet. the bot factory production for Brown is right now the best in the entire game. It was a Teal, and Brown was staggering quite a bit, but right now Brown has been able to get back into this game, and he's now just going to kick some ass and chew some bubblegum. You can see that Yellow's commander has backed out just a little bit out of this base of purple. I'm guessing he just thought that this entire event was, this entire sort of attack was pointless, and to that I say, well, it's basically a big fault right now that Yellow shouldn't have actually pulled back. He should have continued attacking. It was kind of already too late for Yellow to try and rebuild his base right now, because due to the fact that Brown already has a little bit of a pincer movement being grown over here that could just easily snap the neck of Yellow and destroy his entire base. At least bring someone down, Yellow, instead of bringing only yourself down. So now he's going to try and kill off some of Purple's bot factories, but he should have just went down over here and at least tried to make an attempt at killing off Purple's commander instead of not trying at all. It's going to literally bite him in the ass. So if I'd had to say who would win this battle right now, it would either be Purple or Brown, due to the fact that Brown has a large assortment of bot factories over here and just a huge amount of eco, but Purple also has a huge amount of eco and has a very spread out base, whereas Brown doesn't really have a spread out base. Brown is going to destroy a massive chunk of Yellow's base right now, destroying bot factory after bot factory after tier 2 bot factory over and over and over again, doing a mondo amount of damage. But right now, Yellow, you're not really protecting your bot factories, bot fabricators right now. You're doing a really, really bad job at that. You need to continuously protect these guys. These guys are literally the bread and butter of this entire engagement. It's kind of a little bit fruitless that, again, Yellow backed out of that initial commander bomb, as he should have just tried to do enough as much damage as he could, due to the fact that Brown was already trying to pincer attack him. But I guess when all is said and done, there's not much damage that he could be doing, due to the fact that Purple's base is fairly spread out, as well as Purple's commander being right over here and very far away from Yellow's commander. Already Brown is trying to look for a passage through Purple's base and trying to eliminate Purple right now, which is pretty good. So Purple is going to be annihilated both by Yellow and also by Brown. Yellow's commander is doing a good amount of job keeping Purple's attention distracted from this massive force of units over here. However, all good things have to come to an end, and Yellow's time has now ended in this plane of existence. So a massive chunk of Purple's base has been destroyed. A lot of bot factories, a lot of energy plants, a lot of metal extractors, but Purple, again, is going to be able to survive this due to the fact that his base is fairly spread out. However, Brown is pushing forward with this massive force of units over here, going to annihilate some of his factories of his opponent, as well as killing off some fabricators. He will maybe even try to get these energy plants over here, and maybe even some energy plants over here, and annihilate his Purple's eco right now. Brown is doing a phenomenal job and microwing his units, sort of eliminating base after base, building after building, just being a complete nuisance to Purple. All at the same time, he's moving forward a massive contingent of doxes over to Purple's base right now. He will be able to snipe out Purple's commander if he's careful enough and micros enough. Now let's see his production. Is it continuing to ramp up? He's building a massive force of units over here that's going to stop this engagement force of Purple's units over here. So that's pretty good for him. He's also expanding over there. So he's doing a fair amount of sort of improvements in his eco building as well as his base building right now. And I think now it's over for Purple. There's just a massive force of doxes over here destroying his bases on the left side, as well as a massive force of doxes over here destroying his base on the north side. And over here we have a contingent of doxes that are going to move forward and destroy his commander maybe. But the commander will be able to kill off this force, apparently, due to the fact that the doxes aren't really paying attention, so they will be able to be all annihilated. But it's going to be too late, as now the massive force of doxes that was over here on the left side will move forward down and try to kill off this commander and meet up with this massive force of doxes that were over here. And already we can see a D-gun being built, but already a D-gun is too late to be used. D-guns are really useless in the game, as doxes are just way too fast moving and way too spread out for a D-gun to be very effective. And there we go. There's maybe the GG. Good game to my players over here who were playing the game. Again, this game really fell down to a little bit of some mistakes between some of the players, as well as just just general lacking of production right now. If purple did a little bit more docks production, as well as try to deal with that yellow commander a little bit earlier, then he would have been able to win that engagement against purple, and maybe even try to take brown space. Anyway, good games to my opponent, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.